decision making. So if you're able to simplify this complex data set, you're able to if you find out if you find out the information needed, you're able to make decisions faster. And then it is also used to highlight key insights. It is also used to highlight key insights, maybe maximum something, the trend of something. So it's also used for identifying patterns and trends. So that's the importance of data visualization. Okay, so now we move on to the data visualization tools. So these are charts, graphs, and maps that are used to display the information. Okay, so when we talk about charts, we are talking about tables, diagrams, pictures that are used to organize this large amount of data in a more clear and concise way. And then when we talk of graphs, graphs are mathematical diagrams that are used to show relationship between variables. Okay, so there's a saying that all graphs are types of charts, but not all charts are graphs. So you have some graphs that are not we have some charts that are not graphs, but all graphs are charts. We have the line graph, the bar graph, they are all parts of charts because they are used to organize a large set of data. They are used to display large amount of data in a more concise way. And then we have the map. A map is a representation of an area. Okay. So in this case, you are using so we will move on to the involved in data visualization. So the very first step is for you to know and understand your data. You have to examine your data. When we talk about knowing your data, you should understand that we have different types of charts that are best suited for different data types. So we have the quantitative and the qualitative data. So you should know that if you are working with the qualitative data, you should know the kind of charts you are going in for. If you are working with the quantitative data, you should also know the kind of charts you are going in for. So you have to understand your data. And when I talk about understanding your data, you should also know what your you should have a clear picture, or let me say you should have a picture of an idea of what your data is about. Is it a sales data? You should be able to know. You should understand and know your data before you move ahead with the data visualization. So the next step is you clean your data. So when it comes to data visualization, there's this process. When it comes to data visualization, it works with garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't have quality data, whatever you are displaying will be garbage. Like, I hope I'm clear. So you have to make sure that your data is clean. You remove all duplicates, you handle missing values, and then all the other things when it comes to cleaning data. You remove duplicates and all. So a good data is the foundation of a good data visualization. If you don't have a clean data and then you move ahead to display information, you might be bringing out incorrect information. And then the next step after cleaning your data is to, of course, conduct all exploratory data analysis. And this is where you are going to review, this is where you are going to see you are going to get some key informations. You are going to get maybe that you have the mean of this, the distribution of a particular variable. You have there are so many things, the trend. That is where all these come into light. And then the next step is, after your data exploratory data analysis, the next step is you create your visualization. And then in this particular step, this is where the explanatory data visualization comes in, because you've already conducted all your exploratory analysis. So you know, it's like you are certain of a particular information. That is what you are trying to display. Okay, so in this particular step, this is where the explanatory data visualization comes in. So we have tips for effective data visualization. How do you start? First, you start with a question. What's the purpose of your visualization? What are you trying to communicate? If you're able to know the purpose of your visualization, it will help you to structure a narrative for your report. And then the next step is you know your audience. Who are you trying to convey the information to? What are their expectations? What are they trying to get from your your presentation or your report? Is it sale growth, or is it revenue increase? Maybe they want to know the number of customers they've lost over a period of time. You should know your audience, who you are trying to convey the information to, and then you choose the right visualization tool. That's why I stated that if you should know that your data type. Quantitative data type has a particular set of charts that you can use, and then the quantitative tool has a particular chart types you can use. It's not every chart type that you can use for every variable. Okay, for instance, if you want to let's say if you want to find the relationship between two numeric variables, obviously you'll be going for a line chart. Okay, because a line chart will help you show the correlation between two numeric variables. And then the next step for effective visualization is you keep it simple. When it comes to data visualization, less is more. You don't have to be extravagant. You don't have to be so into having so many charts. Like, you have to keep it simple. Simple is the best. And then you have to choose clearer chart titles. When I say clearer chart titles, when someone sees your chart, he or she should be able to understand the kind of information you are trying to convey. Okay, and then you do not overpopulate charts. If there are too many on the charts, it's going to cloud the information you are trying to bring out, and then it's going to distract your audience. They might not know what charts exactly to focus on. They might not know which of your charts they have to be attentive to. So you do not overpopulate charts. You have to keep it simple. And then you have to label your charts and graphs. It is very important. And then you have to make it easy to read. So the goal of data visualization is, as I said earlier on, when someone sees your visualization, he or she should be able to, at a quick glance, he or she to be able to take something from it. Okay, so if you have too many colors, you might defeat the purpose of your visualization. And the data visualization is to enlighten your audience, not to confuse them with colors. If you have too many colors, they will be confused and might even cause headaches for them. It is to enlighten them, not to confuse and create headaches for them. So that is one thing. So you have to be very careful about your choice of colors. And then even when it comes to colors, it is even recommended that as a data visualization engineer, you are supposed to know the colors that are good for. Yeah, you have to select colors in such a way that it will help even those who are colorblind. Okay, advanced recommendation is that you are supposed to know colors that you're supposed to choose that will be able to help those who are colorblind. So that's one recommendation. So when it comes to colors, you don't have to be too excited about it. You don't have to be having so many bright colors. It actually defeats the purpose of your visualization. And then we come to some common charts and their uses. So the first one is on my list is bar chart. And this is used to convey relational information. It's used to compare two categories. Okay. And then we have the histogram. It is also used to show the distribution of a variable in a data set. And then we have the box plots, we have the line charts, which I already talked about. It is used to show trends over a period of time, maybe the sales over a period of time. It is used to show trends over a period of time. And then we have the most common and then the most abused chart. That's the pie chart. It's like everybody wants to use pie charts. Everything you see pie charts everywhere, every visualization there is pie chart. It is usually abused and it is used to display proportions or percentages of different categories. And then we have the heat maps, which are used for correlations to show correlations between variables in your data set. And then we have the scatter plots. So the scatter plot is used to show relationships between two continuous variables. So we are going to have a short demonstration. Okay, it is very short. I unfortunately it's a truncated data set, so there's no much information about it. So this chart and this demonstration is just going to show the process of the steps involved in data visualization. Okay. Any questions so far? Like, am I clear or I'm speaking too fast? And can you all hear me too?
Can hear you.
Please, any questions so far? Is there anything that I said that wasn't clear? So can we move on to the
So far, so good
demonstration?
from here.
Hello. Yes, please. Yeah, I think we can move on.
Okay. So as I said earlier on, we are going to have a short demonstration on the steps involved in creating a data visualization. So first of all, I will not bore you with much details. So our data set, hold on a minute, let me share the data set, what we are working with. Please hold on a minute. I'm trying to get the data set. I want to show you the data set before we move on to the visualization. Okay, so this is our data set. And it is a data set from an auto company, a company that is with that makes and sells automobiles. And we have our order number. That's a unique number for a particular order. We have the quantity or ordered. That's a particular quantity of products that a customer ordered. And then we have the price each. The price each is the unit price of each order. And then we have the revenue. The revenue here is actually the sales, not like revenue. It's the sales. Is the price, the unit price multiplied by the quantity ordered. So this particular column will be renamed later on. And then we have the dates ordered, the date that the customer ordered the product. We have the product line. So the product line is a particular product, should I say, different products the company is offering or the company is selling. So we have the vintage cars. Some of the unique product line is the vintage cars. We have the trains, we have the planes, we have the motorcycles, and on and on. And then we have the customer. That's the customer name, whoever purchased the product. And we have the customer's address, the city, the state, the postal code, the country, and the rest are self. And then we have the sale reps. We have the sale reps last name here. It is important because that's where I centered my data visualization on. So now we will move on to the steps involved in creating a data visualization. Okay, so now the steps. So now you have to load your libraries and all sort of things. I'll not bore you with this one. So you load your data, and this is the data. So after loading your data, you describe some descriptive analysis on your data, and then you clean your data. This is very important. As I said earlier on, data visualization is such a way that if you put garbage in it, and it's garbage that will come out. Okay, whatever you put in it, that is what will come out as an information, and it will be incorrect. Okay, so you have to clean your data. So for instance, for me, the purpose of this visualization is to actually show, for my visualization, I was showing the sales of a particular sales rep, the total sales. I was comparing the total sales of the various sales reps in the company. So I deleted all unnecessary data, all unnecessary columns in our data set to be able to focus on what I wanted, the information I wanted. So I cleaned and I dropped some columns, and I renamed some columns for easy understanding. I mean, if you say price each, it's kind of some way ambiguous. But if you say unit price, everybody will understand that, oh, this is what you are trying to talk about. And then I checked and removed some duplicates, which is very important. I checked for missing values, and then yes, there were missing values. However, because of time and all, I wasn't able to remove or do anything to those missing values. I just let them be. But later on, when you are trying to do it yourself, make sure that you handle the missing values well. And then I did some descriptive stats on the data set that we have. So as I said earlier on, the data is actually a truncated data set. I've had it for a long time now, and it's about sales of automobiles, like vehicles. Let me put it that way. So I started with total sales by each sale rep. So the sale, it's actually centered on 2029, yes, 2019 data set. So I was trying to compare the total sales that each sales rep have from, sorry, it's supposed to be 2029. I changed it earlier on, but I didn't run it, so it's still showing 2018 to 2020. So we have the various sales rep. So I was trying to compare their total sales over the period 2019. And we can see that from this particular chart, we can actually see that the highest person who had the person who had the highest total sales is one Hernandez. Okay, so for instance, if when you just take a look at the spreadsheet, you might not see that this Mr. Hernandez was able to achieve such a goal in 2019. I hope it is clear. But then after plotting this bar graph, it has been revealed that Hernandez is actually the person who has had the highest total sales for the year. Okay, so that is it for the total sales by each sale rep. And then we have, I did some sales by product line. So we have the unique product line, the classic cars, the motorcycles, the planes, the ship, the trains, the trucks, and the vintage cars. Okay, so I was trying to compare total sales for each of the product line. And we can see that classic cars had the highest amount of total sales over that period. That's 2019. Okay. And the motorcycles had the least. Looks like lots of people are more interested in classic cars than motorcycles. And I don't know about the planes though, but that is what the data is. That's what the chart is trying to show us. And then when it comes to data visualization and effective data visualization, ordering is very important. Okay. So maybe this particular chart, for instance, is not supposed to be in this way. For people to be able to um, um get the needed information at a quick glance, you have to order it. You have to kind of sort it, whether it's in ascending order or descending order, so that they will know that, oh, after classic cars there comes vintage cars. Vintage cars was the next highest, had the next highest total sales, and then from vintage cars, so and so, and the least is motorcycles. I hope that is clear. So ordering is very important, and that is what I did here. So from here, from this particular chart as compared to this particular one, you are able to get information more quickly in this ordered chart than the first one. Okay, so when it comes to data visualization and effective data visualization, you have to, when if it's needed for you to sort, if it's needed for you to sort the bars, or yes, it is needed for you to sort the bars, you have to do it. That is if it is needed. Okay, in this particular one, I think, and I feel it is very needed, and the colors too are okay, they are not too bright. So I did some correlations. Okay, I wanted to know the relationship between the variables. Okay, the variables in the data set, and it looks like there's a strong correlation between the quantity ordered and the sales. Okay, there's a strong correlation between quantity ordered and sales. That means sales has quantity ordered has some sort of effect on sales. Okay, maybe if, yes, of course, it is even logical. If the higher the quantity ordered, the higher the sales, right? The higher the amount. So I think it is very self-explanatory here. And then what I did is I did some total sales by country. Okay, so we have the customers from this, for this particular company, are coming from these countries. That's Australia, USA, UK, and all. So I did total sales per each country for the year 2019. Okay, and it looks like the highest total sales came from USA, and then the least came from Singapore or Belgium. Yes. You see, oh, that's the problem. So if I had sorted this particular chart, I'll be able to know that the least country that had a total sales was Belgium, instead of saying Singapore. You see, that is one thing about ordering. Yes, so I think that is all. Unfortunately, as I said earlier on, my data was truncated, so I wasn't able to do much visualization, but that's all I have for you today. And hopefully next time we'll be able to talk about like grouping the charts to create dashboards, either dynamic or static charts and dashboards. So that's all I have for you today. And thank you. If you have any questions, then I'm ready for your questions. Okay, Eunice.
Um,
Hi, Eunice.
yes, I'm sorry. I was to clap and I raised up my hand.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Um, well,
Okay.
thank you so much, Linda, for a very insightful webinar. I'm just hope that everyone has been able to learn something, and we welcome
Excuse me.
you for any questions that you might have. I think we start with,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I have a question.
Yes, please.
All right. When it comes to handle the missing value, we know that the way we handle the missing value can impact the way we interpret the visualization. So I would like to know what's your strategy to handle the missing value, because we know we can replace the missing value by the constant, by the
Mm-hmm.
median, by the mode, or anything. So I would like to know what's your strategy to handle the missing value.
Okay, so as you've already said, we have so many ways of handling missing values. Okay, so it depends on your data set. It's actually that's why I'm saying you are supposed to know your data set of head, like you're supposed to know the data you are working with. Okay, so it depends on your data set. That's when you'll be able to tell whether you have to replace it and replace the missing values with a mean, or you have to do something else to it. So it all depends on your data set.
All right.
Hello, can I talk?
Hello.
Then please, the person who asked the question, I hope I'm clear.
Okay,
Hello?
thank you very much. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, so I hope I was clear.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was clear. It was clear. Thank you.
Okay, please, the next question.
okay. Thank
Yeah,
you very
okay. I
much
have
for
a
your
question.
presentation. I appreciate the presentation, but I just have one question.
Okay.
For the cleaning of the data set, it just dealing or you have other process to clean the data set, or you just to remove you just
I
to
can't,
deal with the
please, I can't hear you. Come again.
okay. I said for the clean of the data set.
Yes.
Mm, yes, it just deal with the missing data. There is another process included on in the clean of the data set, because I just hear the dealing of the dealing with the missing data. It's just the
No.
one process, or there is another process.
Oh, there's a process, other processes of should I say the data cleaning. It's not just about the missing values. Okay, we have duplicates too. We have inconsistent values. They are all there, so they are all under cleaning. Like they are also other means of cleaning data, not just missing values or replacing missing values.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And even the dropping of the columns. Okay, so if you have an objective, okay, for your data visualization, that's why I said earlier on that you're supposed to know what you are conveying, the information you are trying to convey. You have an objective. So if you see that a particular variable or column will not be helpful in your visualization, it will not be helpful in the information you are trying to find, you drop it. And even dropping those columns are also part of cleaning your data, okay, to extract meaningful information. And Mark, I hope I'm clear.
Okay, it's very clear.
Okay. Yes, please. Carol.
Hello. Yes, hello.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Hello, Lina. Thank you for the nice presentation. Could you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So my question comes from the end of your presentation, like
Okay.
the perspective, the future work. So you mentioned interactive data visualization, and I remember I have already heard this word a couple of times. So my
Okay.
question was to know in which situation or under which condition this interactive data visualization is useful, and also if there is some ready to use Python library to implement this kind of data visualization. And
Carol, Carol,
yeah,
kindly, Carol. Yes,
yes,
please repeat your question.
like um, in which situation interactive data visualization could be very useful? That's the first question.
In which
Uh,
situation?
yes,
In which situation?
yes.
Okay, so usually when you have like a large data set, okay, and want to extract information from it, you will not, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, you will not be able to go through the whole data set, okay, to get whatever information you are trying to get, or you might not even see trends and patterns just looking at the spreadsheets. Okay, so if you have when you have a large amount of data sets, that is when data visualization becomes useful. I mean, if it's just something small and then you can see that, oh, this is the highest amount of, or this is the highest sales that we had in so and so. I mean, there's no need for um, um having data
Um,
visualization. But when you have a large set of data, then data visualization becomes very useful because it just brings out the insights, the patterns, the trends. So you're able to see it quickly, and then you're able to make the decisions faster.
Thank you, but maybe you misunderstood my question. So my question was mainly about interactive data visualization. So first,
Mm-hmm.
how could you define the word interactive data visualization? What's the difference between the normal data visualization technique and the interactive one?
Oh, you are talking about interactive as interactive dashboard, as I said at the end of my presentation.
Yeah. Yes, of course. So, and I wanted first to know the main difference between the normal way to visualize data and this interactive data
Okay,
visualization.
okay. So let me put it in a simple way. Okay, so the normal one is like you've already created the visualizations. Okay, and the interactive ones is like it's live. Okay, if you need um how do I say it? You are able to monitor and display key business um, metrics. Okay, you're able to interact with it. So if you click on maybe an amount of, or you want to know sales over this particular period of time, when you click, you're able to get a feedback. But then with the static ones, you have the data. It's like a historic data. You have the data already. But the interactive one, as data is being added, the visualization changes. Like I hope it's clear. It's like it's live, an interactive thing.
Okay, so could we also understand it as a web application with many functionality? Like you can, in real time, decide what to visualize and how to adjust something. So that is the question of interactivity. So I have some problem to understand that. So what really make this interactive? Is it because we have a kind of web application or web service that help a customer to visualize it? Or notice my question?
Oh, okay. So it's like you have, let's say, yeah, I think you are right. You are right there. Yes, you can have it in um let's say Power BI. Like it's your visualization is connected to your data. I hope I'm making sense. So as new data is being added, like it changes, the information
Okay.
changes.
Okay, thank you. And is there any Python library for interactive data
Oh
visualization?
yes.
Okay. Could you recommend me one on the fly?
Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much. Maybe we can go to Thompson.
Question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, okay, thank you for that presentation. I just wanted to comment on the missing values. I think, like you rightly said, there are a few that techniques that we can use, and like you
Yes,
said, if depending on the number of missing values, that will induce what we have to do with the missing values. So, like let's say
yes,
if let's say 90% of the data is missing, then we are more likely, or we are better off dropping that particular column.
mm-hmm.
Or but if let's say 10% or let's say 15% of the data is missing, then we can look at possibly replacing it with the mean values in that particular column or not. And
Yes.
then
So
we can through the visualization, we can also see outliers and see what we have to do, because outliers also affect the average in that particular that particular distribution. And then the last thing, I also wanted to find out if it's possible to for you to share your data with us.
come again, if it's possible to share.
Yeah, the notebook, the collab notebook, or the
Oh,
data.
yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, so actually, the data is just the one I read with is a truncated one, not the full data set. Okay, so if you want that one, I think you can find it on Kaggle. Yes, but I
Yeah, I
can
mean
see
the notebook, your notebook,
the
your
notebook. Okay, sure, no
the
problem.
visualization notebook. All right.
Yes, yes, no problem.
Okay.
Okay. Enoch.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. I enjoyed every bit of it. So my question is on the qualitative data. So during
Yes,
my study, I worked on the project that required me to work with quantitative data. So
okay,
after I completed that study, I joined a certain company that works mostly with qualitative data. So I had that challenge of transitioning from quantitative data to qualitative data. Actually, in my understanding, I thought maybe working with qualitative data was more complicated than quantitative data. So I just want to find out from you and from your
okay.
experience, do you have any libraries that you can recommend when working with qualitative data, and maybe some visualization libraries
Charts.
that you can recommend? Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you said if I could recommend. Come again with the first one. I understand the latter part, which is the charts. But then the first one, if I could be able to recommend libraries.
Yes, the libraries, please.
Oh, okay. Yes. So with the charts, I'll start with the charts. Okay. So something like I even cited an example when you have if you want to show let's say if you want to show relationship between maybe a categorical variable and a numerical variable, you can go with something like a stacked data set, like a stacked chart or unstacked chart. Okay, if you want to show relationships between numerical variables, you go with the correlations, like maybe trend. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
Yes, please. You are making a lot of sense.
Okay. So, and then if you want to find relationship, okay, so we actually have charts for there are some particular charts like line charts, for instance. It is used to, let's say, a moment, please. I even have it on my slides. Okay, I'm trying to check from my slides.
Okay, sure.
So as you try to look for it in your slides, can we have probably the next question from Winner?
All
Hi,
right.
thank
Yes,
you
so
for
did
the
you hear me?
presentation.
Please a moment. The guy who asked the previous question, I said I'll share it with Damaris. I have a list of charts on um some charts that I use for qualitative, some charts that I use for quantitative, and how to go about relationships as in if you want to compare or if you want to see relationship between variables. So I'll share it with Damaris so that she'll give it to you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Winner. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. I had one question concerning the data visualization. I
Okay.
tend to confuse the use of bar chart and histogram. So
Oh,
how can I know how to differentiate when to use the histogram or when to use the bar chart?
okay. So histograms are used to represent frequency distribution of a variable in a data set of a variable. So histogram is actually used for univariate analysis. Like I hope you understand. So it's for a particular variable. Okay, maybe let's say the ages, the age range of some of your classmates, you and your classmates. Okay, then you plot it with um sorry, did I say age range? A moment. Okay, so I'm saying you actually want to know the frequency distribution of age. So it's for a particular variable. Okay, and then bar graph is used for comparing categorical variables. So bar graph is for comparing variables, categorical variables, and then the histogram is used to show the frequency distribution of a variable, a particular variable, one variable, and then the bar graph is for comparing. I hope that is clear.
Yes, yes, it is clear.
Okay, so
Thank you.
the common thing is they all use bars, so it can be quite confusing at times. But then the purpose of the bar graph is to convey relational information. Okay, and then the histogram is for frequency distribution of a variable.
Thank you. That was clear. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, and thanks a lot, Samsford. I think he has also commented on that in the chat. I think probably the last question from Bart Baina.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Do yeah. Okay. My name is Badbaina, as you see. I'm student at EMS Cameroon.
Oh, hi, but Bena. Okay, hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Okay. My question is about the data cleaning. When you
All right.
you came to yes, when you come to clean the data, I think you drop some columns,
Okay.
and they are I think the nominal variables. So I would like to know how to deal with them.
You said I
If you
dropped
are
some columns.
hello,
Hello, I can hear you, please.
okay, do you understand the question? Did you understand the
You
question?
said I dropped some columns.
Yes, about address of the customers and others. So if I would like to present those data, which is nominal variables, how can I do? How can I deal with them?
If you want to present display nominal variables.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. For me, I dropped them because they were not needed for what the kind of information I wanted to display. Okay, it's the objective of my visualization. That's why I drop them. But then, for if you want to display them, which of them are you talking about exactly?
For instance, the address of the customers. We would like to know about their address, where they are
Oh,
located, or something like that.
okay,
Yes.
the address. I think you can even
Yes.
use maps, because yes, you can use maps. Yes, I think we have a type of map that you can use to display the address, information on
Okay.
the address. Yes.
Okay. So it
All
is
right.
all about.
Continue. Sorry. Or you're done.
Um,
Thank you.
but
Thank
that
you.
there are also other charts that you can use for nominal data sets. Okay, I think I even use bar graphs to compare depending on your purpose, depending on your objective. Okay, you can even use bar graph to compare,
Okay.
and even pie
Thank you.
charts. It depends on your objective. It all depends on your aim or the goal of your visualization.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that's amazing. Great. Thank you so much. And as we come to the end of today's enlightening webinar, we want really to express our sincere gratitude to every one of you, all our participants for today, and even our expert speaker for making time and even making this webinar a success. As you've seen, the art of visualization is not really merely about graphs and even the charts, but it's really a powerful tool that can unlock insights and even drive informed decision making. So before we close, I would like to invite our program lead of the iAnalyse Mentorship Program to say hi to you. Welcome, Eunice.
Hello, hi Damaris. I'm sorry, I'm in a very tricky situation to open my camera, so yeah, you'll not see my face. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present myself to the participants, and thank you for the nice presentation. I learned a lot from it, and I hope everyone learned something, and I hope to see you all in future webinars. I hope you can also come with your friends so that we can all learn together. And that is it from me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Eunice. Thanks a lot. So at Galois Insights Limited, we are really committed to ensuring that we continually provide valuable learning opportunities, and that's why we have webinars like this one. So if today's webinar really sparked your curiosity about the field of big data analytics and you find yourself probably hungry for more knowledge, kindly consider joining our mentorship program, the iAnalyse Mentorship Program, which is not really just a program. It's a community where mentorship thrives, ideas flourish, and even professionals are shaped for success. Our Cohort 2 applications are currently open, and we invite you to be part of this transformative journey. Kindly join us. You can visit us on our website and our social media pages. We are Galois Insights Limited. Now, what next? We have an upcoming webinar on the 16th of December, 4 p.m. GMT. This one probably will be kind of a continuation of this because our next webinar will be on data visualization using Tableau. Yeah, as we've been having this webinar since the beginning of this year, and out of that, we've been able to create a Slack channel whereby we've been sharing uh, resources and information on the field of big data analytics, but we were thinking of converting that one to a WhatsApp group. So I think when we finally decide on that, probably you might receive an email requesting if you'd love to join our community on WhatsApp. You can voluntarily do that. Right. So thank you once again for being part of today's webinar, and we look forward to welcoming you in our future webinars. We are going to post a registration link for the upcoming webinar on our social media pages, and we really hope that you are going to join our mentorship program. Best wishes on our continued learning journey, and have a great day or evening. Thank you so much, and see you soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.